Oh my God, is it just amazing not working for a few days?
Yeah, but being home with the kids all day and the laundry and the dishes, like,
Yep.
So no vacation then.
Emily, you're in building right now?
they make all the teachers go in building, but the kids were all virtual, except for
Oh,
the
so-
IE kids.
Oh, wait, so I thought you guys don't work at the same school?
No, we used to.
Oh, I thought that's why I was confused. Okay. And
We're
so
in different states even. She's in Pennsylvania and I'm in
Oh.
Maryland now.
Does she do the things like you do when the kids aren't watching?
Oh, that story.
That story.
That was
Here's-
just a funny made up story. It never even happened.
I
We're
don't
just
know what you
looking-
guys are talking about.
I'll tell
Me
it
either.
real quick because it's a really good story. But basically,
Amazing.
I teach this class called the mom class. That I call it that. It's not called that, but it's for all these train wreck kids who like can't organize their lives, right? And so on Wednesdays, we don't have classes hardly at all virtually. It's like the kids are supposed to work independently, but of course the train wreck kids can't. So I sent them a message this Wednesday, a couple Wednesdays ago, because I was like, I'll be on Zoom. I can just be there like a person and you can just work and it'll all be good. And so like 5 of my kids took me up on it. Well, I put them in things called breakout rooms, which is basically like on a separate Zoom. Like,
Yeah.
but they can come back in the main room. It would be like Michelle left the Zoom and then she could come
Yeah.
back in when she wanted. So like I had 5 kids and then eventually it got back down to two boys and they were in their breakout rooms and I was doing other things on my computer, like Word documents, for like an hour and a half. Like it was a long time. And I forgot that they were there completely. And so I was like, well, I want to take a shower.
Look at Emily's face.
No, you did not.
Okay.
And I got down to my bra and underwear. And then I ran around the corner. I'm like, oh, because I realized what was going on. And by the way, I wear like thongs every day. Like I don't wear granny panties. So like it's inappropriate. And I like put on my clothes and then I ran back and my screen had a Word document up. So I wouldn't have even known, like if a kid came back in, I wouldn't have seen them. Like I would not have known. So I like minimized the Word document and I look and I'm like, okay, it looks like they're in their breakout rooms. And so I closed the breakout rooms. I'm like, okay, guys, I think we're done for today. And one kid wouldn't turn his screen on. And I was like, is he not turning his screen on because he's just not, or because he saw me half naked and he's traumatized? I don't know which way this
Oh
is.
my God, Laura, you're gonna be on the news.
I told y'all.
Traumatized nothing. That boy's texting all his friends going, y'all gotta be for study hall next week.
you have like 20
Just
kids
asked to go to Mrs. Schrader's class.
Did you have like
Emily,
20
You're
kids?
not the best teacher.
I was doing that out of the goodness of my own heart. I almost got fired out of the like they didn't have to be with me. That was just me
Yeah.
to be nice.
Yep.
Don't stop trying to save the world, Laura. Right now, stop.
I've learned my lesson. No more kindness.
Or no more showers, you know. Or...
Yeah, one of the two.
That's funny.
Empowering.
I'm close to it.
I can't wait to party with you in St. Louis.
I'm so ready for Summit. I'm
Oh,
so ready. Like you have no
which-
idea.
Speaking of
What?
which, well, I've been looking at houses. I'm terrified. I'm terrified to. I got to look at the
Return.
refund, like the refund like timeline because we need to book a house and there's one that I really like and it's really close to everything, so it would be awesome. But you know we have to pay half up front and then we pay half like the week before you go, and you have a certain amount of time that you can cancel to get a full refund. And after last year when COVID was really a thing and I'm afraid that if July or whatever it is, they're gonna be like, you can't cancel because if Beachbody like canceled last minute or something and they're like, you can't cancel, and so I'm fearful. I don't want anybody to lose money, but I also feel like we need to book because
Mhm.
I don't know what the decision's gonna be, but it's on like right now. So, so that is something that I will be,
You just have to do what you have to do.
Uh-huh.
yeah. And so I will be looking for a count of how many people are confirmed. Yeah, I am too. It's gonna be, after not having one last year, like, and have gone every single year, and then having
Yes.
2 years ago be the first year that we got to stay in a house together with our team and like have that camaraderie. Like and I've never been to St. Louis, so that's cool. You know, going somewhere brand new. So I'm
Leave your shirt on though, Laura.
you
Sorry, Kelly.
never know with me.
But no, I'm just
Had
super,
a fantastic idea.
what was
Oh my
that?
God, Lori just put
I
her.
said my hubby just had a fantastic idea.
What?
He said if Summit's canceled, go anyways and just have a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
And then you
I-
don't lose out on your money.
And what's funny is I kind of wanted to do that last year or like last summer, but it was too still like nobody was comfortable traveling last summer.
Right.
You know, like so it was a little, but I feel like
I would do it this summer. I would do it.
I don't know about y'all, but I might have the first vaccine shot by then. So because you know we're essential workers, so educators are on the list to get them sooner if you're going to get it. But so yeah, I think that's a great. I actually would be totally, because the thing is you have to buy a plane ticket, you got to pay for the room, and it's
Oh,
like,
you have to buy a plane ticket?
Unless you want to drive.
Shut up, Lori.
That's
Our
a
house
little
goes
too
with
much.
I mean, maybe we turn it into our team retreat that had to be postponed because of the fucking virus. So, you know,
Right.
and,
No, I'd still going to California.
well, you can still go to whatever, we can reschedule it when this freaking virus goes away. But we can still do that too. I just met a place where we can go and be together, because that's what I miss. Oh, Rebecca, you made it! You made it!
Hey,
Hey, girl. Hey.
still at work.
I've got 15 minutes.
Nice.
I
Oh,
can't
get a
miss
picture,
out.
Kelly.
And I got
Okay, let's do a picture.
our nails
Okay, hold on.
Oh,
And then tag me so I can share it to my story.
Yeah, you better get on that, girlfriend. Okay, ready? Let's do a boomerang so we're fun.
Oh,
Everybody, where's your drink?
I don't
One,
have.
2, 3. Okay, then I'll tag everybody.
Boomerang ever.
What'd you say?
I said stupidest boomerang ever.
I kind of blocked you with my drink, Laura. Oops, my bad.
That's okay.
Oh, Rebecca, we were talking about Summit. Are you planning on going? I can't remember.
I have my ticket. Remember, I found it.
You found it? Okay.
It was lost.
How many people on this call are confirmed going right now? Raise your hand.
I will be going. I just have to leave Saturday morning.
Okay, 6 confirmed. Okay, because I think the house, I want like 10 at least, and would be good for cost wise. It would be really cost effective.
and then Keith says, oh,
Brooke
Keith
is
a
super.
confirmed?
She's not confirmed because of her vacation time because of her daughter's wedding,
the wedding.
and if we go to Cancun, but I don't know if that's gonna happen either.
Brooke is super interested, and Emily should definitely go.
Would love to. I just got to pay my electric bill first, and then we can talk about this.
That
Yeah.
can wait.
Your kids don't need
That can
electric for that
Turn
2
off
days.
the lights.
Good.
Yeah.
Get a
That's what
candle.
candles are for.
I was just gonna
You
say
have a fire
candles.
pit in your backyard, right?
Now you can show your kids what it's really like in hard times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, say this is why mommy works so hard, so you can have electricity.
Heidi, are we scaring you?
No.
Okay. That's good.
Just
Yes,
take it
welcome,
off and-
Heidi.
Thank you.
Heidi,
You've
are you
been killing your
coach?
workouts.
Yeah, she's my coach.
Okay.
Heidi and I met. Gosh, how did we originally meet? Somebody.
Well, actually through a mutual friend that told me about you. She's
That's right.
like somebody I
Nancy.
nannied for. Somebody
Yeah.
I nannied for. And I think I've known you for more than 3 years, possibly.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Or
And
more.
Yeah, and you
which is mind blowing.
yeah, and then she was my dog sitter for a while.
Yep.
And yeah, it's been a while. We met at a coffee shop, and
Mhm.
she was local, and the person told her about me for fitness and possibly coaching.
Mhm.
And really, she was a gym rat, and then with COVID and everything, started really getting into her at-home workouts, and she's wanted to take it up a notch with the coaching. So I'm really glad that she's
Yes.
here.
Yay.
We will see how that goes. I'm kind of scared, but yes.
We
I'm
all
just gonna
were.
do it. I guess I'm gonna just do it
Yep.
scared.
We all do. That's how we all started.
I really don't know what I'm doing,
That's all right.
I
That's
don't
okay.
either.
That's what
but
you
I'm just being honest with you.
yeah, you become professional. I don't know what I'm doing, people, like, and you just do it anyway. That's what we do.
Yeah.
But I will say, so tonight it's the last Monday of the year, which is crazy. And so normally, our Mondays were our team calls. They've been kind of all over the place throughout the year, just because of the year. It is what it's the year. And so we wanted to not only I wanted to come together to celebrate all of our hard work this past year and this crazy ass year. And I know that this has been my best year in business as a coach. I've helped the most people. I've helped the most people on in fitness. I've get started on their own journeys. I've helped the most people in their businesses, whether it's rank ups or income earned or people joining them. And I don't mean that like bragging. I think we've all, when I look at myself and the people on this team and all the new faces on this call right now, I think Michelle, Lori, Laura, Rebecca, and Michelle was but not 2019, right?
Wait, Dorado or Bogart?
Sorry, Michelle, but I was saying Michelle's been with us before 2019, 2020, but I think Michelle Bogart's been with Laura, but not as an active coach, right? So there's a lot of half the
And
people,
Sandy.
that's what I'm saying. Half the people on this call are new or because of this last year, right? Because of the work that we've done this last year and bringing people to our team. And there's a lot of people that couldn't make this call. And I only know that it's been my best year as a coach. And so I can only imagine that it's very true for a lot of the people that have been actively coaching this year. And in such a horrible year, we just got off a mentorship call in this mentor program training that we've been in this month. And I continue to say that the one thing, even though this year was terrible in so many ways, and the one thing that has remained consistent and most normal is my Beachbody community. Whether it's the Fit Tribe, whether it's our team, it's the virtual community and support of people, none of that changed. Our fitness regimen, I worked out the entire pandemic. I had a little more cocktails and food, but I worked, that didn't change. My gym was never shut down. I never stopped doing those things. I never stopped my personal development. I never stopped all these habits that we created or that we're trying to teach other people to create didn't go away during this pandemic. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't for other people that maybe have this lifestyle, because we all dealt with this pandemic in a different way, right? But because we had these habits and the support system, I feel like I know I did fared a lot better than I would have had I not had these things in place. And so while we won't always have a pandemic, pray to God, every year, there are things that come up in people's lives, right? Deaths in the family, illnesses, loss of jobs, things that happened during the pandemic that happen at regular times. And so by helping people create lifestyles where they can take care of themselves, they are, working on their mindset and their overall happiness and well-being. Doesn't matter what comes into their life, they have not only a community, but healthy habits to rely back on, right? So I think this year really pointed that out for a lot of people, maybe where they were lacking in their life and also where they were doing really well, right? And areas that they could improve. That's what I'm taking this year to look at it that way. So, in the last couple of weeks, we've had some huge rank ups in our business. And so because Michelle, when did you go Dorado? You went diamond this summer?
September 24th.
Ooh, that was the day after my birthday. So then it was September and then December, right? Because Kisa and Laura went. So that's huge. Three new diamonds this year. We've had a ton of people go emerald, which is super awesome. So Laura is our latest diamond. Michelle is our latest emerald. And if you don't know what those ranks mean, that's okay. We've got a training on all of it. But basically it means that for Michelle, going emerald means that she is building it, and she's like emerald a couple times over, right? Like you've got several on each leg and stuff. So
Michelle Bogart.
Sorry, Bogart. That she's building a team. She's getting people not only to change their lives physically, but maybe financially, right? They now have an opportunity to earn an income. Same thing with Laura. You know, she's always, it's so funny. I don't know if I can count on two hands how many times she said, I will never leave, and I'm not saying you will, but I will never leave my education. Like I know I'm gonna get my pension, I'm gonna do my 30 years, I'm gonna get my pension, and I'm gonna da da da. And she let it hold her back from building a team and a business. She did a very good job of being a commission sales earner. She would bring people in and get them started on their health and journey and help them change their lives like nobody's business. But she had this limiting belief about what she could do as a leader and building a team of people. And so to see that, like, I feel like be wiped off the whiteboard, that limiting belief be wiped off the whiteboard, and really go for it is just really, really awesome to see. Because when I met Laura 3 years ago at Summit, I was really struggling. I was really struggling with, I didn't have a team. I didn't feel like I had anybody that supported me. I didn't feel like I had anybody to work with that was, you know, where I was and wanted to work the business and change my life and change other people's lives. And Laura was that person for me. That like, hey, no, come be with us. We'll help you, even though we're not on the same team. So to see the shift over the years with both of us and how we've grown and the people that have been brought into my life because of Laura is just, I'm forever grateful.
It's like chills. I wish you guys knew like back then. Like, I don't know. It's just, I feel like everyone on this call sees Kelly as like the leader and me as a leader. I don't know if that's true, but the thing I was going to say is that we just, you know, you go to a summit and you show up and you constantly are looking around, right? And you're constantly growing and evaluating where you are. And I know some of us have been there, right? Like other people on this call have been there. And you look around and you put on your best game face, but in your head, you're in your head and you're like, that's what I want, but can I get there? And da 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 da. But I'm so excited. I have so many ideas, and it's a real interesting dynamic. And Kelly and I mean, it's so funny because the girl who actually is the connector between us is not really in either of our lives anymore very much, but we made something special. And like, whoever knew that day, you know, that weekend, actually I'm going to just say this, Kelly, our friend was in a terrible frame of mind at that summit. And she like literally was just kind of ouking out the whole time for good reason. And so it forced Kelly and I to like become besties. And it was like all by design. So
yeah, it totally was. And that's what's so funny, I think about, and I think there's so much reflection that comes with this year, right? And please, anybody else can jump in and talk about anything. Like, I don't want it to be the Kelly show, right, Lori? I just snort.
You did.
I did. But there's so much reflection, and Lori and I were talking about this earlier, just thinking about, you know, I met Lori through my 4th and 5th grade teacher. Elementary school teachers were friends of Lori, and because I was posting about my Beachbody business and, you know, selling Shakeology and programs on Facebook, my old teacher, who was a discount coach who lived in my area, was a discount coach to get discount on Shakeology years ago, put me in contact with Lori. She actually came to pick up a bag of Shakeology from me or something, and then hooked me up with Lori to be able to get it under me at a discount. It's so random. And I remember traveling out to, because when Lori was in her RV, you know, motorhome up here, and I traveled out to the RV park, and I sat in her RV, and I got all these new Coach gifts for her, and I'm like, here's your little binder, and she wanted to try to work. And I don't know how long she'd been with me before she was like, I think I kind of want to do that. I'm retired, you know, I'm loving this.
2015 is when I started with you, August of 2015.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, we met and we chatted, and her wife had just had back surgery. So she was in the back of the RV, like really in pain, and we were trying to be quiet. And I just felt I'm like, I'm intruding in their space. And, you know, I feel like the rest is history. Right. And so it's just so incredible. And then I remember the summit when Rebecca showed, or not summit, Super Saturday when Michelle brought Rebecca, and I was like, this girl's never gonna. I feel like she was like skeptical as hell. She was never gonna show. She was never gonna sign up. And we went to lunch. We were trying to wine and dine her, and you know, and then she told the story later about that first Super Saturday and how impactful it was. And it was happening. I was like, wait, what? You know, it's just crazy to think how we're all incorporated, and like I say it all the time, like I cannot imagine my life without Beachbody, and I can't imagine where my life would be. And the people that I literally see and talk to daily, where every single person on this page was a complete stranger that I would never have known, had the pleasure of knowing, supporting, and watching grow if it weren't for this opportunity. And that is crazy to me. Like my bestest friends my whole life aren't here, right? You know, and now I have new bestest friends and people that I care about more than anything because of this opportunity. So I don't know. I don't know if anybody else wants to share.
I just want to share real quick. I actually have to go. My client's going to be here in like 3 minutes, but I just want to emphasize what you said. I am one of the biggest skeptics on the planet. Like I have no trust in people because I've had a lot of trust broken. And on that Super Saturday, it took me seeing this one guy dropping how many pounds, like 120 pounds. It was an insane amount. But you look at him, and you're like, you were not. But and you just knew it was true. And it was when everybody started sitting, like I got up and I was the first one to sit down. Like, and I was like, I didn't lose that much. But there's all these people, and I wanted to be one of those who had like a superstar story, but I didn't. But seeing everybody else, and also Dorado had even hit it. I connected with the fact of no time and everything to the one lady who had a salon here in Oregon, and she runs a full-time salon and has, you know, a full-time business, and she also is like star diamond. I don't know how many diamonds she got, but she's a diamond. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I am the person I am today because and Dorado kept saying, like, you know, you got to come to Super Saturday. I'm like, I'm trying, I got to work on Saturdays. But I had to, you know, 4 months ahead of time, had to clear a Saturday so I can go. But that was my time. And everything's coming in time. And Kelly and I had this conversation with this push group that we're in right now. And I was like, what is so different? What is so different? We've had these before. What is it? She goes, it wasn't our time then. And this is our time. So now I know, like, I'm embracing it. As you can see, I like to be part of things.
I do too.
I'm here. If I can have you guys on at 5 o'clock, I would have you on at 5 o'clock, but my client would throw a huge fit. And so
it was okay. So anyway, the mentorship call wasn't that good today. You're good. You didn't miss anything.
Okay, good. But I live for this. This is, you know, everybody always has an open mind. Everyone is so supportive. And I've never had that kind of support ever. And so in my personal journey, not necessarily like I've had support at a village, but I've never had what I have with Beachbody, and it's amazing. So newbies, I'm so glad you're here. Heidi, I'm glad you're here. because this is a great team. And Kelly's growth, I got 1 more minute. Kelly, your growth in this last year has been freaking amazing. And Lori
Yes.
keeps telling me to tell you this because I tell her this all the time. You know, I like the fact that we're growing with you. We are growing with you, and it's nice to see you blossom while we're blossoming. So thank you for what you're doing. I've got to go. I love you all. I will see you sometime soon.
Go make pretty nails. Go make pretty nails.
I will. Bye. How do I leave? Okay. Bye.
Hey, that was amazing. I just wanted to say one other
I know, it made me cry.
I was teared up too. I just wanted to say one other thing because I said this in our little call, but not everyone's in that group, and I just want to make this very clear. Like for me, I don't know my limiting beliefs normally until I'm past them. Like I'm not able to see them until I'm past them, and I even think that with personal development, like I really have to work really hard to try to like put my ego on the shelf and feel and get what I'm supposed to get. Like it's a challenge. And every year Kelly, because Kelly likes this and it motivates her. She takes pictures next to what she wants at Summit. So she's like, you have to take a picture next to the diamond line because you're going to be there next year. And I'm like, I'll do this for you. Fine. And she wanted, I don't even think I took it, but she wanted us to take a picture next to the elite trophy shit thing that we're working on earning, which I didn't even know it existed. But Kelly was like, we have to take a picture next to it because we're working on this. And so the realization I had that I did not have back then was that the reason why it didn't matter to me is because I didn't actually know if it was possible. Like that's honestly, it was a limiting belief. I just wasn't able to identify that at the time. And so I always tell coaches like the whole be here in a year, because that was told to me in the beginning. And this business, for most of the time I've been in it, has not been explainable why I stayed in it. Like, I mean, I even make decent money at it, but it really, if I looked at my time and my life, it didn't make sense. But I stayed and I'm so happy. Like it fills something that nothing else can fill for me. And then lately, twice this week, I've had that in personal development moments, the whole idea of like, what if you didn't take a wrong turn? And what if you're exactly where you meant to be? And like, this is the journey. And I think I said this at one point, but like the fact that it took me 5 years to turn diamond makes me feel bad, which it shouldn't. You know, and that's something I have to confront, I guess. But it's funny because I think if I had gone straight to diamond, then I probably would have never been my daughter's Girl Scout troop leader and cookie mom and burnt myself to the ground doing all that. And then I would sit here with regrets. And I would say, I should have been this mom. And I don't have that. I'm comfortable with I'm comfortable with being a lazy mom because I put it on the floor for those children and I'm tired. But I showed up in that way, in that capacity, and that did not allow me to build a team with my Beachbody because I didn't feel it. I also didn't have the infrastructure where it is now. Like we have a much better system. And the reason why I'm just sharing all of this is I hope if in any way it can inspire someone. Like, the idea of putting timelines on your goals is like good and bad. Like it's not, I guess it's not necessary. If that drives you, it's great. If you are a person who that is going to push you forward, but for me, that doesn't always push me forward. And if that would have been my thing, if I would have been like, I'm going to be diamond by blank, I don't think I would have said 5 years. I would have quit. And I'm so glad I haven't quit. And so I don't know if I want to say anything to you guys. I just want to put that reminder out there, like have goals, have dreams, and then realize you're amazing. Even when they don't turn out. I mean, Kelly's had dreams the last couple of years that haven't turned out the way it's big goals that she set. And so anyways, I just hope that speaks to someone because it doesn't always go the way you're wanting it to. And that doesn't mean that you're failing and it doesn't mean it's wrong. Maybe that's exactly the road you're supposed to take to get there. So.
Amen,
I-
sister.
Can I just add, I feel like we might set goals and we might miss them, but we're still better off. It's kind of adding to what you're saying. We're still better off than if we hadn't set the goals at all. Like
Yeah.
I'm looking at my vision board and I want to throw up just looking at it. I'm sitting
Why?
here, big goals. I'm sitting here like, how the fuck am I going to do that? Pardon me for anybody who doesn't know me. How the fuck am I going to do this? But they're there. There's the goals.
And I will say it was like what Laura said, like I had a huge goal of being two-star premier. That was my, by the end of this year, at least premier. And I'm going to end 2020 making the most money I have in the 7 years that I've been a coach. I mean, like doubling my income of last year, or almost, well, more than doubling it. And I'm going to be, by the end of on Thursday, I'll be halfway to star diamond, 1-star diamond qualification, through the qualification. And I say that only to say, had I not set that goal for myself, like I didn't hit it. And for a long time, I was the person, like I would not set goals because if I didn't hit them, I would be pissed. Like Laura said, like if you didn't hit that goal at the day, you would just quit and be like, I failed, right? That's taken a lot of growth to get there where it's like, no, I can set a goal because just like I said, a huge SC goal this month. I haven't hit it yet and I might not, but because I set that goal and haven't hit it yet, I'm still going. I'm still trying to get there. So I'm going to get a lot closer to that goal than I would have if I would have just said, I'm going to hit SC10. I would have got to SC10 and been like, I'm done, or SC5 or whatever that goal is for you. You always, you don't want to make it so astronomically crazy, but you want to make it so that it's a little bit of a push. So if you get there, you're ecstatic. If you don't, you're further along than you would have if you would have set your bar really low. And so, I didn't hit my main goal again this year, but I am so freaking close because of that goal that I set. I'll probably hit that same goal by the end of first quarter of next year, and then I'm going to push beyond that. So it's like, so while I don't want people to get stuck on these timelines of hitting certain ranks or hitting certain amounts of money, you need to determine what is going to push you to be the best version of yourself. What is going to push you to work a little bit harder tomorrow at whatever goal it is. It doesn't even have to be a business goal, but whatever it is, it's going to push you to be a little bit better than you were the day before. That's what you want to go for, not necessarily a rank or anything. Like one of my new coaches has a goal to, and I wish he was on this call tonight, to buy the horse that she's finally gets to lease, and she wants to buy it. Has nothing to do with rank. Now, would rank, depending on ranking and how our structure works, help her get there faster? Absolutely. But she needs to come to terms with her goal and then figure out what it's going to take, what she wants to do in order to get to that goal. How much does she want to work? What does she want to put in? Does she want to build a team? Does she want to do it commission based only? Those types of things. So I'm huge proponent now of setting goals when I used to never, because I didn't want to fail. I would never even set them. I wouldn't tell anybody, because if I told people, then I'd have to tell them that I failed, because I had that limiting belief that I didn't feel like I could do that. Whatever I wanted to have as a goal, I didn't believe that I could get there. So I wasn't going to tell anybody because I knew I would fail. And then inadvertently, subconsciously, I didn't actually really try to hit that goal, if that makes sense.
Another thing is I did hit the diamond goal, and it was like, one Thursday I was not close, and on Tuesday I was like, holy shit. And then Wednesday I woke up and I thought, yep, I'm going to be a diamond. 2 weeks later I lost it. And it's still super, super hard. But I had 2 coaches cancel their membership, and they were both on the wrong leg. And I could sit here and beat myself up because I knew I should have put one coach on the other side, and I didn't. And I would have kept my diamond had I done it. But fuck, I beat myself up all day long, but it doesn't change anything. And I just have to be stronger so that 1 or 2 coaches don't make a difference. Makes a difference to them and to me, but it doesn't change my rank. Like guess is
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
And again, and when she had issue, I hit diamond 3 times, lost it 3 times. I mean, 2 times. If I hit it 3 times, I lost it twice to have to get back to that paid rank, you know. And the crazy thing, and this is just about this business, you have no idea. I mean, we try to be strategic, and if you're really trying to earn income, and I don't want to get too, you know, into stuff just because I don't want to confuse anybody. But you know, you're somebody that tells you literally, I mean, like Ashley Molstad, she was a discount coach, you know. I guarantee her, and if you don't know who Ashley Molstad, she's the #1 coach in the company right now, or for last year, she's not currently, but and she was signed up as a discount coach. She was never going to work the business. Her sister-in-law, who was her upline, I think quit. So I'm like, could you imagine, like, oh yeah, no, her upline is not, no, Lori's looking all confused. Her, Danielle Natoni is like essentially her, because they were up the line or whatever. And it's like, could you imagine quitting after then having Ashley Molstad be under you? You have had all that, you know, you never know who's going to do. And then you have people that say, I'm going to make $1 million, and they never do a damn thing. And so, so that's why, like Michelle said, that's why we need to continue. You can't get comfortable. If you're wanting to build a business, if you want to earn an income and you want to build a business, even if it's not a full-time income, you have to be consistently doing the things to have a strong foundation. And that's why I lost my diamond 2 times. I didn't have it. I was looking for that shiny diamond, not what was going to keep the rank, keep my team around, a strong team, a strong foundation to build and really change people's lives. So, but I don't want this to be about rank or I mean, yes, we were celebrating ranks and stuff, but I hesitate to focus so much on that, because that's not always everybody's goal, right? What I love most about being a Beachbody coach is we are independent coaches, independent team Beachbody coaches. So we get to determine what we want to do with that title, okay? And what that looks like for everyone. And so that's all. I forget that. I feel like there was something else we were going to talk about tonight. No, I don't remember.
Hey, I am curious to hear like what people are seeing for themselves next year. What's been bouncing around in people's
Oh
heads,
yeah, I did want to talk
their
about
goals or words or whatever. Like, I'm definitely curious.
I want to hit diamond by summit. Bare minimum.
And why?
I want to push myself a little bit further. I kind of look at my coaching like I looked at 30-day breakaway when it came out. And Laura was like, are you going to do the 30-day breakaway? And I was like, nah, I'm not a runner. And she's like, you really should try. You should do it. And I was like, no, I'm not a runner. I hate running. And I didn't think I could do it, because every time in the past that I tried running, no, forget it. It was so painful. And then the Spartan race came up, and I'm like, crap, fine, whatever, I'll do it. And that's how I started coaching. She's like, you should go full-time coaching. And I'm like, nah, I don't want to do it. And I kind of put it off. And then finally, I was like, okay, fine, let's do this. I'll just, do hobby coach. I'll just be a hobby coach. Well, then same thing with 30-day break was like, fine, I'll dabble in this running thing, but it's not going to work. And so I'm one of those that I'll set a goal for myself, but once I set that goal, when I reach it, I want to see how far I can take it before time's up, so to speak. And so that's how I was with 30-day. I would reach a mile goal, and then I'd just keep running. Like the program would be over, and I would keep going to see how far I could go before my legs were screw you, I'm done. So I want to do that with my business. I've never been in charge of something like this to where it's solely on me and my schedule and my actions and what I'm doing. And so I want to set diamond as a goal, but I really want to see how far I can take it.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I was totally listening to your wife, but I was also taking a picture of you because you were frozen and it looked like you were like you were high. You were like, so I had to take a picture and you're frozen again and it's hilarious on at least on my screen, maybe not on
Yes.
screen. Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
Mhm.
Frozen.
I'm going to send it to you in the chat because it's freaking
It's the wine talking.
What?
Like,
My internet sucks.
I do love that Kelly just asked Michelle why, because that's exactly what we should be doing when people tell us their goals. Like, why is that important? Why? And then there, by the way, there's about 4 more whys that follow up that why, like to get to your real why. So,
You know, I'm glad you said that, Laura. I almost feel like we could have a whole, at least a 30-minute discussion about that, because like I said, I've got my goals up here and I know exactly how much I want to bring home after taxes. I mean, I got that math shit dialed down. And I know what it's going to take to get there. And then I thought, but why do I want to do that? I have it up here that I want to have a down payment for an investment property, but it doesn't say why I want the investment property. It doesn't say that, I want to be able to retire in 4 years. It doesn't say any of that. Why do I want to retire? Because I want to travel. I don't want to live in gray Portland my entire life. And I'm really hoping that Beachbody expands to other countries, like by the time I'm ready to go, because I might not come back, but I'm not giving up Beachbody. So anyways, my point was, I got totally sidetracked. My point is that I only have my surface level why up here.
That's a really good point, Michelle Garado.
I did want to, so we were talking about visions and then what else were we gonna, I thought there was something else I wanted to bring up, but maybe not. Just kind of chatting and celebrating. And
does anyone else have goals for this year? Any other, like I'm working on my vision board right now.
And it doesn't have to be business. It doesn't have to be Beachbody business wise. It can be anything that you want to do in life.
Actually, this is hilarious. So if you guys know me and Josh, like nothing's easy for us. Freaking nothing. I mean, he's a great guy, but holy hell. So I'm like, do you want to vision, kind of dream with me and vision and stuff. And so last night he's like, okay, let's do whatever you want to do. And so he's like, how are we going to do it? And I'm like, I don't know. We're just going to dream. Like, maybe we could get out a piece of paper and write our dreams. And he's like, and I'm like, I don't, and he's like, what's the process? I'm like, I don't know. So I go online and I find some vision dream board planning document and I print it out and I'm like, what if we and it just has 8 categories, right? Just empty boxes, 8 categories. I'm like, what if we just take 10 minutes and we both write down? And he's like, well, what's the parameter? I'm like, I don't know what this year you want, maybe in the future. And he's like, well, why that? I'm like, I'm only making parameters. I'm just trying to dream. Can we just dream? And so he's like, and I'm like,
what are the rules?
Do you want to talk? Do you want to talk about it? He's like, I guess maybe. And of course, when we got to the relationship one, somehow we got in a half fight, but we didn't get in a full fight. So that was good. We definitely got stuck there on something and then we proceeded.
That's so funny, Laura, because when I was doing mine, I went in to talk to Matt about, what the goal was, what the vision was. And he was like, honey, whatever makes you happy. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. Can you help a sister out. And I'm like, come help me figure out where we want to be, because we're hopefully still going to be a couple, almost 26 years now. So you
Right.
would think that we should be on the same page-ish, but no, he's like, yeah, whatever makes you happy, honey, which is sweet, but not helpful at all.
It's funny because that's literally all my husband and I do is we literally envision ourselves 10 years from now when my daughter's 18 and gone and our kids are got, like, we have it all planned out, like where we're going to be, we don't know how we're going to make it happen yet, but we like have everything planned. Thank God we're on the same page. But so that's funny.
That's us too.
I was gonna say this diamond 1K club that we're in is the first time in 5 years where I actually, when every paycheck comes in, I'm spending it on paper. So I have like literally a Google Doc where I'm keeping track of it, and then I spend it. And I bought myself a ton of shit this month, if you want to know the truth. And I spent a lot on Beachbody, and I've spent exorbitant amount of money that honestly I wouldn't, like, in normal life I couldn't spend that on myself. Like, it's ridiculous. But at the same time, like, it's actually giving purpose. And then I read Get Over Your Damn Self, where she at one point talked about, I don't know where she's talked about it in the book, but she talked about like involving the kids, envisioning. And I was like, I should do that. Like, what do you guys want to do? And maybe use $100 of my money every month to go on a family date or something. Like start to include the whole family, because I feel like it's been this thing that I've done. It's been very isolated to me, and I've had no purpose for the money. And so it felt like something like no one in the family could appreciate when I was picking up a phone, because they couldn't see any benefit to them or how it helped. Like, it's really a big flip for me that I'm doing right now. And I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. Like, I need to keep doing this.
Yeah, my daughter she got upset. Like, I don't remember, it was beginning of break or 2 weeks ago or whatever. And I was working and she was like, why do you always have to work? Oh, because she wanted me to go up to the neighbor's house. And I said, I need to do some work before I go up to the neighbor's house. And she was like, why do you always have to work? And I said, I'm working now so that I can leave my job and not have to. And she goes, okay, keep working. Because my kid does not want me to work. Like, I took first, when my husband and I got married, like, I took 2 years off when she was in preschool, like pre-K and kindergarten. And so I volunteered all the time. I was always with her. We always, had so much time together, and being an only child. And she, she loved that. And she was so upset when I went back to work, even part-time 2 years ago or 3 years ago. She was even more upset when I went back full-time this year. And so I'm like, I'm doing this so I can resign from my job. And she's like, okay, keep working, and so bring it. But I love that how Laura said, like, bringing them into it. I know there was another coach that talked about, like, this coach wanted to bring in 50 coaches or something, whatever it is. And they all made boxes on a piece of paper. So every time she got somebody or did that, she would let the child mark it off. And whenever they got to that thing, then like the kids got something. I don't know if that was from that book or if it was from a Beachbody coach, but and so bringing them into it so then it's fun and it's a game and then they feel involved, not so separate.
Josh Coates has one of those little documents. It looks like Chutes and Ladders. It's got all the boxes. I can post it. I've got an electronic copy.
Oh, I thought I had mine right here. Where is it? It's the income goal though, or it's your where did it go? I have mine. But what about it?
Well, let's hear from Emily and Heidi.
Only if they want to talk. We're all
Yeah, she's the
I
boss.
don't know what my goals are. I would have to really think about that. My goal right now is to not have to go to court and pay $7,000 in random court fees that I wasn't expecting. Like, I really like Beachbody. I like making the connections, like making the friend. Laura knows, like, I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not a huge little small talker. But I've been posting a lot with that girl, Corinne. I randomly met her. She wasn't signing up for Beachbody. We just had a lot in common. She's like one of my best friends now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just causes me to branch out and like, as something really to do with Beachbody. It's just forcing me to like not stay in my bubble. So I don't know. Right now I'm happy. I'm good. I'm just seeing, how things go, I guess. I'll have to think about long-term goals.
You're being proof the product works and you're just sharing.
I want her
Yeah.
to, like,
Yeah. Kind of, and
That's
motivating
good.
people to like not give a fuck about anybody, or like that's
Mhm.
my main thing. But
That's awesome.
Comfortable with the idea that you don't have to know exactly where it's going is actually a part of this journey too. Like you, I mean, you and I obviously talk a little bit more deeply than,
yeah,
but like you've gone through stuff, even recently, like stuff in your personal life that like, might be more on your mind than like Beachbody goals. And so if just to even be able to say like, this gives me joy
yeah,
and I like this, like that itself is like a goal you're actually checking off,
Mhm.
and then I think like the idea of keeping open to like the possibility of what this might lead to. Like, I'm not going to give you a timeline on things at all, but I will say, since we're both teachers, like, I know when I'm overwhelmed at teaching, like we have some natural breaks where you have time and space to think about a business. And then we have times that maybe it's not as natural.
yeah,
And you're in control. It's always allowed, you know what I mean? But like right now is one of those times where we have time and space and we can,
Mhm.
and you get to choose that. Like, obviously you get to choose how you use your time. We all get to choose that. But the fact that you're able to see that this brings you joy is actually huge. Like,
Yeah.
because it doesn't always need a defined goal, specifically if the defined
Mm-mm.
goal is limiting you. Like, if that's taking away joy to make a goal, then it's not the right time. It's that whole idea I said, like, maybe this is exactly where you're supposed to be right now.
Mhm.
And the idea of, and I'm not just speaking to Emily right now, I'm just speaking to anyone, the idea that you can be with people who have different like visions and goals, but like celebrate them, but still be comfortable with you is like, I mean, that's like hashtag like life goals. You know what I mean? To be happy for other people and come
Mhm.
are like really amazing stuff. So I'm so glad that you like were just transparent about how you're really showing up right now and feeling, and
well, and
how
that's why,
Corinne is like for real in your life. That's so cool.
well, and that's
Well,
why I
well,
don't
that's.
always
Oh,
be
sorry.
focused on, no, I just don't always want to be focused on business, because that's not
No.
everybody's goal. Like, and we're all a team with different life goals and fitness goals and all the things. And so that's why it's like we come together to support each other on whatever the goal is. There's no judgment, there's no,
Mm-mm.
we might challenge each other, because that's where I know I grow a lot. When I won't challenge myself, I use other people to challenge me. But yeah, it's not just about fitness and business. And I know I'm much more open to critique and I don't want to say criticism, but just like
Feedback.
feedback, and stuff that I never
Mhm.
put because I was too insecure before. I mean, there's things that happen over time that lead us to the personal, professional relationship goals, that we eventually get to.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we have two, I would say, more mature folks here on the call, and my girl Sandy. And so, you know what? We're both retired. We're living the frickin' dream.
I know.
And
Trying to-
but for me, I had a really fun side job where I got to go into natural pet stores and hand out dog food samples, and that changed. And I could do it anywhere because we travel. So and that changed because of COVID. I can't go into the pet food stores and hand out samples. But I worked in the healthcare industry. I retired from Blue Cross of Oregon, and I was an account rep where I went out and talked to people about their benefits and wellness. And so it's always been a real passion of mine. So if I can just help one person decide to take care of themselves and want to be healthier and to move more, because just getting up and moving can make such a difference. And so that's kind of when that blonde lady came to my motorhome and was telling me, oh, I think you're going to be such a good coach and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just looking at her like she's fucking smoking crack. But I'm just like, you know, it worked for me because we traveled and we'd be in campgrounds and I couldn't work out.
Right.
But I could sure put a DVD in my laptop and I could be outside and exercise and do all that kind of stuff. So it was perfect for what our lifestyle was like. But then when I signed up as a discount coach, but it kind of evolved. I saw through my transformation, you know, I'm going to be 64 in February 7th is my birthday. I'm going to be 64. And what I've done over the last, I mean, it's just been 2 years is amazing. I'm a different person mentally. I'm a different mom. I'm a different wife. I'm a different friend. I'm a different auntie, all of that. I'm not even the person I was a year ago. So people have seen and watched me grow. People tell me I'm different. My daughter tells me, what, Mom, you're so different. I'm calm. I'm not that reactive, you know, yelling person that was angry and fearful all the time.
Oh my God,
That's
Lori, I
what-
can't even imagine you yelling, angry, or fearful. So
Oh,
I'm like, I can't wrap my brain around that.
Remember, she's the
Oh.
sex phone operator, so that's why we can't.
Yeah.
Her voice is like a sex phone operator. Everybody, I'm just
No,
making
I was.
coffee next to my fire with my doggy.
You guys. No, there was you know, we all have shit in our lives. Everybody does. And because of the baggage and the things that happened in my life growing up impacted me as an adult. I wasn't confident. And those things bring stuff along into your relationships that don't always come out very positively. But I'm proud of who I am today. And the fact that I can go on social media and share what I've done and that I can do the things that I can do at my age. And Sandy too.
What
mean-
what I love about what you said, Lori, is that you said I'm a better wife, I'm a better mom, I'm a better friend, I'm a better
Mhm.
human. And doesn't matter if you've made a single cent
Mm-mm.
doing this coaching thing, but all of those things you said are priceless, right?
Mhm.
And that's why I just always go like, you know, I would never quit Beachbody even if I stopped making a dime, because I know, because I
Mm-mm.
continually, I'm doing the work. I mean, we're all doing, you know,
Yeah.
continue to do the work. Every year I get better and better, right? And
Mhm.
and I can be a better. And so that's where I just think that's so huge, that regardless if we ever, we've helped ourselves, and because we're helping ourselves first and foremost, we can go out and do the same for others, right?
Yeah.
But even if we never make a dime, like the impact.
But I've made dimes. I've made
No,
a lot
I
of
know.
dimes.
That's the bonus.
And I can't even believe the amount of dimes I've been making. So I'm making more than I made going and standing in dog food stores for 6 hours at time. And and I'm helping people, and that makes me happy in my heart more than the money.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
but my girl Sandy's doing shit too. So
Yeah, I just wish I want to help people. You know, and that's my goal, is I want to help people. But I'm having a hard time just even getting customers.
Yeah.
I have, you know, our demographic, my demographic is, you know, in this COVID thing, we're at home, we're not supposed to go out, you know, we're at risk in our age group and all those kind of things. So where do you interact with people other than on Instagram and Facebook for people,
Mhm.
you know, and
That's
even
wh-
one of my best friends, I mean, our kids were little together back in 1985, you know, and she was going to be a customer. She thought she'd like the shakes and everything else. And then her husband bought her a $200 desk cycle. It's like a thing that emulates a bike that sits under your desk, and so that $200 machine that's going to sit under her desk, I'm
Not
sure,
used.
not get used. And I go, well, for less than that, you could add a whole year. You know, I didn't say this to her yet,
Mhm.
but for
Good.
a whole year, you could have had, you know, a plethora of exercises, and you know, and your 30-day of Shakeology, you wanted to try it, it's money back guarantee. How can you go wrong? You know, I mean, that's my thing is that's why I did it, was not to make money, but how can I go wrong?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, how, and you know, and here I am 30 pounds lighter and 24 inches smaller, but how can I go wrong? I mean, I've already won,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
so, but
Beautiful
I
post.
You
just
right?
just keep doing. You just keep doing what you're doing.
That's a beautiful post.
yeah, and I, you know, I just want to, even my great nieces and nieces and stuff that are all 50, 60 pounds overweight, you know, but between all of them, they don't have enough to even buy a pack of Shakeology, you know. I mean, how do you, you know, and my daughter thinks it's a pyramid scheme, you know. So,
which I find very interesting, only because even if it were a pyramid scheme, right? Like even if you join and it was like you lost 30 freaking pounds and 24 inches, you are in better health as your daughter.
right.
Daughter would want you to like. Have you lost any? Have you paid thousands of dollars? Have you lost any money? No, you've lost weight and gained health. Like so
Yeah.
like I would like, and I wouldn't do this to your daughter, but I'd want to, like, tell me where the scheme is. Tell me where the
Right.
falsehood is. Tell me where the fake is. Like, nobody's asked you to put thousands of dollars up, or if you bring in 10 people, you get $5 million. You've just lost weight, create confidence and health and a community of supportive people. Like, where is the fake there? Like, where is the
Mhm.
scheme? Like, that's the
Yeah.
best
Mhm.
scheme in the world. If you know, and so those are, and what I find is awesome is using those objections from the people that are around you, not saying who's saying them, but saying, you know, the friend that bought the 200, you know, the whatever. And it's like using those objections and saying, this is why it worked for me. This is an object, not, so it's not putting anybody down for doing it or
Right.
those
Right.
things, but saying, but this is what worked for me. Like you could even say, I thought it was a scam. I mean, a lot of people think that it's a pyramid scheme, right? But where's the scam? I signed up, I paid for my own products. I got a year's worth membership for way cheaper than I ever would have, you know, at a gym. I've lost 30 pounds, 24 inches, and I
Mhm.
feel better. I have this amazing, I mean, you use the what's actually true to not deny, why can't I think of the
It
word?
supports.
But
It
to
supports the
negate-
story.
to negate those
Mhm.
those objections. And it does take a while. It does take a while for people to see that you're consistent, that you're, you know, that you're not blowing smoke, that you're going to stick around, you know.
Mhm.
And so it's a time game. And I think but I think continually to share, I mean, I knew you had a big transformation, but I forgot that you lost 30 pounds.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. And
Sandy,
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, Sandy, I think that you are on the brink of greatness. I really
Me too.
do. And I think a big part of it for you in 2021, and you, by the way, you can tell me I'm totally BS, but I think a big part of it is going to be leaning into the coach group here and like sharing, like, hey, I'm thinking about posting this. What should I say differently? Like start to get that advice from us about posts. And then
Mhm.
Right.
is maybe spend some time thinking about those people that you're talking, because you are talking to a different market than I'm talking to, right? And I do think when I see people your age, I see two people. I see people who are ready to live, and I see people who have given up. And so
Right.
who are you speaking to, right? And what is your messaging? And how's that gonna look? Like those, I think getting that clarity around that would be good. The other thing is, I do think that our workouts are like, if you think that's not the person you're gonna reach with the workouts, that's something that we could talk about, not tonight, but like, that's something we could talk about. Like what group do you want to run, or what free group, or what, like, try Shakeology for 30, you know what I mean? Like how
Right.
can we position it that's more appealing to your demographic? Because quite frankly, you'll get them over time. The deal is to get them in the door to your ecosphere, hemisphere, I don't know, whatever, your ecosystem, and keep growing. And so those are all things that I feel like I'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one. I'm sure anyone, or like,
She's amazing, Sandy. She helped me a ton.
but
Yeah.
really, I think you have everything it takes. I think you're just where all of us have been and are, which is that you're ready for the next step, right? And so that next step, I think, is going to be your messaging and your what you're putting out, so that you're getting in the people you want.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish that Beachbody, when, you know how they're doing all the diamonds, and they have all the people talking on the Monday, the wake up call, and they're interviewing people and things like that. I would like to see a little bit older demographic being featured in some of those, that it's not all 20 and 30 and 40 years old people out there who are doing this, who are trying to do this, you know. I wish I would have been doing this at 40, but I'm not.
Beachbody corporate, because I agree with you. I don't think we have great solutions for people who are older and don't see themselves as capable of doing things.
Well, and I
Like,
also think, no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I think messaging that and having a voice for it is I'm not saying it's gonna change or whatever, but I do think that's worthy of like putting that out. I know my own mom, she doesn't think she can do anything, you know, like I get it.
Well, and
Yeah.
to be fair, like,
Well, have her talk to me. I'll show her she can do it.
Yeah. Well, some of our other, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Sandy brings up a good point with the different demographic and being, you know, the at-risk demographic with this virus. Like the number one underlying cause of people that are if they get COVID, that are struggling the most, are people in that age that are unhealthy. It is all about people's health before they get this. So, and again, we can't control it. We can't control, you know, I mean, we do our best, whatever, but there's so many, this is really just highlighted how unhealthy we are as a country and how much our prior health affects us with any kind of illness. This is like highlighted it to the nth degree, and nobody is talking about that because we're afraid to victim blame. We don't want to blame people that get COVID and you know, if they have underlying health conditions, or they have, you know, if they're not healthy or not working, you know, so we don't want to victim blame people, but that is literally the number one thing. Like I just saw a post today about and this isn't the case of everybody, but where these two adults got it. They're in their 60s, I believe, in their 60s. They both worked out consistently, eat well, take care of themselves for years. They barely had symptoms and I know this is not for every single person that's healthy and whatever. We know that, right? But like, that's not what's not being talked about. So I think that is a huge demographic and there are very successful coaches in this demographic that could get on and talk about that. Like it's huge, and we need to be talking to everybody, not just people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. So I agree.
But I also feel I have a lot to offer those who are younger.
Yep.
Because I've been there and done it.
Yep.
And I know what works and doesn't work.
Yep.
You know, and you know, I've been on every fad diet that's ever been out there, from drinking protein out of a bottle to, you know, you name it, I've tried it,
That's
and
another
they
post.
don't work.
That's another post
I-
because
I've
again,
done, I have.
because I have too, but the thing is I feel like people in it, and tell me if I'm wrong, in an older demographic, they either think they can't do it, or they want
Right.
those quick fixes because they need to change their health really fast. So then they go to those
Right.
diets or those other things versus creating a lifestyle. So I think that's huge. That's hugely.
They're too old. They're
that's
too old.
Yeah.
Or
They're
I
too
don't know
old.
about what you guys, what?
Yeah.
I
They're
think
too
they-
old, or they
they
just
don't
had a
know
knee
about that.
replacement. Just because
Yeah.
you had a knee replacement doesn't mean, oh, I had 2 knee replacements. It's like, well, you could still move.
I literally have had 5 people in the last week tell me they can't because they have literally just had foot surgery.
But here's the deal. If that's the case, get them on To Be Mindset or Portion Fix and have them walking.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we all
Yeah.
know, everyone on this call knows nutrition is what's getting the results.
Right.
So if they can't do the Beachbody on demand, who cares?
Right.
Like
Right.
serve your people, right?
Right. Great.
So, and by the way, I feel like I'm saying that all bitchy. I'm not trying to, I'm just excited, but I'm just trying to say, like, honestly, I so often feel like I go about it backwards because I post these sweaty selfies when what I should be posting is my freaking dinner every night. You know what I mean? Like, and so,
Yeah.
so I really think if you flip it, like just because the team and the Beachbody ecosystem tends to post workouts,
Yep.
the magic's in the nutrition. So you flip your business to nutrition and you're going to hit it, because no 60-year-old or 70-year-old or 80-year-old is going to say, I can't eat healthy. They may say, I don't want to, but they're not going to tell you they can't,
Right.
but they are
Right.
going to tell you they can't work out. So
What they are going to say is they can't afford the $130 for $140 for the bag of Shakeology,
Well, let me just sign you up as a discount coach, and then you can get the discount. My ex-husband is going through cancer treatment right now. He's 73 years old. And guess what he's drinking every single day? Shakeology.
Yeah.
Hey, you guys, I have
So-
to jump off. I haven't eaten dinner and I have some more work I need to do tonight,
Okay.
but congratulations. And thank
I know, we
you for the
probably
call.
should- I love chatting, but I could be here all night, but we've been here an hour.
Oh my God, it's already after 8.
sorry, guys. Sorry. This is why we need scheduled calls more often.
But this is good. This
I
is
know,
really
it's
good.
I love just chatting,
All right.
but
Bye, you
Yeah.
guys.
Bye, Dorado.
All right, bye guys.
I am.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Sandy, you're going to do this.
Well, I think about it every day.
You
Well,
are. Just
and
keep.
I know you said you're in on the little emerald pod. I would all tell you, Sandy, you're the only. It's just I think we've only had 2 people say they're in so far, but I will tell you. So we've had a little pod going for this 1K group that we're in, and it makes all the difference to have people that are helping. We post our conversations, we post our, when we have wins and when we have losses, and we have, like, it's just this because all these people in this little group are working, are essentially working at the same level. We're all pushing, we're all encouraging each other. And so it just feels really good to know that these people are people that are pushing, and you have that. It's just, and so I'm really hoping that will help when it feels like we don't have team calls every week, or we don't have, these times to sit and chat about all the different things. And you have this little pod, of people that are pushing you and working towards not the same exact goals, but that you're working towards goals that you've created, and that you all know what those goals are. If that makes
But
sense.
share the conversation, because I have learned that I will tell you that is probably the biggest thing that I've learned, was to get out of my head and just, like, I just signed up a coach, a guy, it's a good friend of mine. He was like, I said, you know what, you really should think about this. This is amazing, blah, 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 blah. And he responded back and he goes, oh, it's end of year, blah, blah, blah. I can't do it. And I made a video call of myself, and I just said, you know what, dude, that's an excuse. And you need to just stop it. You need to come and work with me. Let's do this together. and he signed up.
Yeah,
He goes,
like
"You're
that-
right."
Well, I did a Zoom call with my friend Marion. That's the one that had just bought, her husband just got her the extra desk cycle or whatever for Christmas and
Mhm.
everything. And I had Kisa in my back ear, you know,
Yeah.
I was working through her and stuff and everything. And she was, you know, like gonna let me know after Christmas. And then she got that for Christmas. And so then she changed her mind and said, I'm gonna give this exercise cycle thing a try, you know, and I haven't gone back to her yet and say, well, you know, you can still do the Shakeology, you know,
Mhm.
I will do that with her, but I'm going to give her a little time to kind
Sandy,
of,
do you know her goal? Does she have a health goal?
she wants to be able to qualify again for a knee surgery. She's already had one done and she needs to have the second one done, and she wants to qualify for getting enough weight off that the doctor will do the surgery.
So
You know what her
listen,
goal is? Sorry, Laura. How much weight does she have to lose?
I don't know. I would probably say 50 pounds.
Sandy, here's the deal. You gotta not give this time. You've gotta send her a voice message on Messenger tonight.
Mhm.
And you gotta, assuming that's how you're talking, I don't know. And you gotta literally press the button, because this is what I do all day long. And what's her name?
Marion.
You say, Marion, I can't stop thinking about you. I just can't get you off my brain. I know what whoever bought you that bike thing, but you and I both know the reality is if you're going to lose this weight, it's going to come from nutrition. And that bike thing might get you started, but it's not going to get you to where you're trying to go. And I want to help you. And if you're not ready for my help, that's okay. But I know that we can do this together. You know, I've lost 30 pounds this year. You know that I can help. I didn't lose it because of the fitness. I lost it because I got the nutrition under control. Let's talk tomorrow. Boom.
Yeah,
And end it.
just like that.
And then tomorrow, message her and say, hey, did you want to talk? And just like, because
Yeah.
honestly, she's not going to do crap with the, even if she does the bike every day, she's not going to lose 50 pounds biking while sitting at your desk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be nutrition. And so
Right.
she's just fooling herself.
Well, and I think what she's going to do is what she did when she went for her first surgery was she did the protein shakes, just the simple protein shakes that you buy at the Walgreens, kind of, you know,
With no nutrition.
probably no nutrition. She just supplemented a meal with it and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And she's had a history of taking a lot of weight off, gaining it all back. Taking a lot of weight off, gaining it all back. And I don't want to see her do that anymore. It's not good for her,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Because she's not learning
So-
lifestyle, she's learning how to quickly lose weight and then can't sustain it. I did that forever.
Right. And I've done that before too,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Right.
So I will tell you, Sandy, the little pod we're in, a lot of people have been posting
I have to go.
what their conversations even with people and being like, how will you respond? And if you ever want that, like I needed that in the beginning for a long time. I used that in a long time. I would screenshot whatever came in and I'd ask for help on how to respond. And so if you're feeling that, like, I feel like Rebecca's really open to it right now. And like, she's getting all kinds of feedback and she's like, oh, you know? So
Mhm.
So I don't know if that's something that you'd be interested in, but honestly, I keep seeing you. You're on the brink of greatness. Like the more you let us support you and
Yeah.
the more you make yourself vulnerable to us about the coaching part, because you've got the nutrition and you've got the fitness. So the piece that's going to get you, so you're helping the people like you want to, is figuring out how those posts need to look or how the conversations need to sound to get you there. And we can totally do that.
Yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
that doesn't sound too pushy or psycho or anything.
No.
I'm trying to
No,
be
I
encouraging.
just have a hard time doing the speaking because I don't like how my voice sounds on recordings.
What's
so-
funny? I don't like how my voice sounds either,
I
but
know,
but your
it's just
voice is actually really pretty, so I'm surprised to hear that.
that chatter up here. That's the chatter I'm trying to get beyond, you know, so.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Well,
I know,
the more you do,
I know
the
it.
more you'll get used it and it won't bother you anymore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
the helping,
just doing it.
helping her is going to outweigh that fucking chatter in your head, because you're going to feel good because you're trying to help her.
Yeah. So, and and we've been down this path together, where she's lost a lot of weight, and I've lost, and she's followed me, and I followed her, and it's just a yo-yo thing and stuff. And
But you're not yo-yoing anymore.
Yo-yo on the shelf. It's time
No.
to stop playing with it. It's time to put it on the shelf and be an adult and change your lifestyle.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a
cool,
diet.
Sandy, that's really a cool conversation you're in the middle of. And it's
Yeah.
not done. You're completely in the middle of it.
Yep.
And by the way, the closer the friend is, I think the harder it is to get them to say yes. So
That's
like,
true.
she'll say yes. This might be an adventure in you just building your confidence in just being more bold to support someone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, too.
She even had it all penciled out. She says, well, this would only cost me $5 a day.
Yeah.
I mean, she had it all penciled out, and she goes, and that's, for a meal, with the Shakeology and she, with taxes. And that was even doing it on the full retail, not with the coach discount, and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. And, but
Well, that's where you go back and pencil it out, that here, I know that you're thinking about money, and here's where we can do this to save you a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah, you can put it back on her. Remember, this was only $5 a day. The
Yeah.
bike's taking care of your lower half. Let the shakes take care of your upper half.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that. This
Well,
is
that's-
awesome.
Yeah. And I will go back and look at this recording and write down what you said, Laura, because it sounded good. What you said.
Girl, here, I'll tell you the magic. The magic is speaking from your heart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That there's no magic to my words. The magic is truth and honesty.
Yeah. But to get that flavor so that I know where I want to go with my words, but to get your flavor of the,
Yeah.
That's the hardest part, Sandy, and I'll tell you from my perspective, that's the hardest part in all of this, because you see rock star coaches like Laura and Kelly and Kisa, and they make it look so flawless and so easy. But like they were talking about earlier, oh yeah, you do, especially from us newbies coming in.
Mhm.
Like they said earlier, we didn't know them in the beginning of their journey and when they started all of this. So we're
Mhm.
seeing like the highlight reel. We didn't see the struggle bus. We feel like we're on the struggle bus and we're watching them roll by in their Lamborghinis and limos.
Well,
But-
I have bod groups all set up, ready to plug people into, and all this other kind of stuff, just waiting for
That's
it
awesome.
to happen, so I'm ready. I'm just waiting for it to
It-
happen.
Kelly, Michelle said something too, perhaps. I mean, I don't know if that's a team call or not, but just speaking to your demographic. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, Michelle Dorado. Yeah.
sorry, I should have said Dorado.
Well, my
I
other,
hope as if we get a third Michelle on this team. but I don't know. Sandy, you're gonna get there, and I can tell that you're not really going anywhere. Like you're happy, you like us, you show up to things, and
Mhm.
I think that from this conversation tonight, it sounds like you are hungry to be helping. And so if you're hungry to be helping, then that means you have to put yourself in a vulnerable position with like us helping you, but also with speaking to people.
And I think it's because I feel like there was a post today that you shared, or you shared a post that was like words, like with the cute background, and I can't, like, inviting people. So
Yeah.
and what I've heard from you tonight is all of these things, how you, I mean, and not just the 30-pound weight loss and the 20, but like people need to see how you've helped yourself before they can see how you're going to help them. Does that make
Yeah.
sense? kind of like we were talking, and so it's like even it doesn't have to be like a before and after every time, but just seeing your face, the smile when you share your smiles of your, you know, after you do your workout, or the pictures that you put in the tribe and things like that. Like that's what people need to see, right? And telling a story about the fad diets and like how has Beachbody changed you? Like it's, you know, and it's more than just the numbers, you know, of course people like to see that. But I do think they want to see how it's helped you so they can see how you can help them.
Yeah. And I would also talk to Kisa about my focus besides us geriatric Beachbodyers, is the military, the retired military.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, I'm working on what my conversations are going to look like for that.
Awesome. And they get free, and they get to say they can be a discount coach for free.
Right.
So
Right.
that's amazing. It's a huge win right there.
That's my demographic really that I want to get to is,
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
but
That's awesome.
This is awesome.
Wow. Well, this was a great call.
This was a really good call.
Sometimes we just need to connect. So thank you, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you,
Thanks
Kelly.
for leading so flawlessly in your Lamborghini.
congratulations to everybody. You're
What
all
was that?
superstars. You're all superstars.
We
Congratulations.
are, because everybody decided to do this. Like take
Yeah.
the leap of faith and do this and make it look messy and be, you know, the newbies that are going to be with the Lamborghinis. Like you saw me post in the 1K group, one of my old posts that popped up from 4 years ago, and I was mortified about it because I'm like, this is where we all start. It doesn't mean we're not going to get to where we want to go, right?
Yeah, and I read that and I was like, what was wrong with it? Crap. I don't see it.
But then that's when you ask. Just say,
Mhm.
tell me everything that you did wrong there so I can learn what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and even on Dave Ward's page where he's got the, you know, the call outs for the 500 and the whatever, and, you know, and your team had 4 people on there, you know,
Mhm.
so how many other teams can say that?
I know. Yeah.
I mean,
Cindy's team.
What'd you say?
maybe Panacea, you know, Panacea might be able to say that. I don't know, but
I don't know. I don't know if I don't know, but no,
Yeah.
I love it, and that's what when I think it was Rebecca that said, you know, something about my growth, and my growth has come from the growth from this team, because that's where
Right.
I shine. Like I don't want to lead from the front and be the only one there. And so when other people started to show up and that's what fueled me to be like, oh my gosh, this can happen for other people. It's not about just me. And so that's what fueled me, is everybody else. But I should probably go, because
yeah, everybody, it's getting late for a couple of you.
well, we've been on the
Yeah,
phone since
we're
5 p.m. So
Really.
Yeah.
Okay, love you guys.
but I love
Yeah.
you guys. We'll talk
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.